You've gotten awfully conceited and stuck up, and all the girls say so. They may not say it to your face, but that's what they say about you behind your back. It hurts me to hear them say it, but I've got to agree with them a little. I'm sorry if it hurt your feelings, but I can't be sorry I said it.
I'm glad you said it, Emily. I never thought that such a thing was happening to me. I guess it's hard for a fellow not to have faults creeping to his character.
I always expect a man to be perfect, and I think he should be.
Oh, I don't think it's possible to be perfect, Emily.
Well, my father is, and as far as I can see, your father is. There's no reason on earth why you shouldn't be, too.
Well, I feel that's the other way around. That men are naturally good, but girls are.
Well, you might as well know right now that I'm not perfect. It's not as easy for a girl to be perfect as a man, because the girls are more nervous. Now I'm sorry I said that all about you. I don't know what made me say it.
Emily.
Now I can see that's not the truth at all, and I suddenly feel it isn't important anyway.
Emily, would you like an ice cream soda or something before you go home?
Why, thank you. I would.
Hello, sweetheart. Good afternoon, Miss Emily.
Hello, George. Hello, Emily. What are you having? Why, Emily, what are you doing crying about?
She just got an awful scare this morning. She almost got run over by the hardware store wagon. Everybody says that Tom Huckins drives like crazy.
Yeah, you take a drink of water. Look, I'll check it out. I tell you, you've got to look both ways before you cross Main Street these days. It gets worse every year. What do you have?
I'll have the strawberry frosting. Thank you, Mr. Morgan.
No, Emily. Have an ice cream soda with me. 2 strawberry ice cream sodas this morning.
2 strawberry ice cream sodas. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There are 125 horses in Grover's Corners this minute. I'm talking to you. The state inspection was in here yesterday. Now they're bringing in these automobiles. Best thing to do is just stay home. Well, I can remember when a dog would go to sleep in the middle of Main Street all day and nothing come along and disturb them. And they are, so. Yes, Mrs. Ellis, what can I do for you?
They're so expensive.
No, Emily, don't you think that. We're celebrating our election. And then do you know what else I'm celebrating?
No?
I'm celebrating because I've got a friend who tells me all the things that ought to be told me.
George, please don't think that. I don't know why I said it. It's not true, George.
No, Emily, you stick to it. I'm glad you spoke to me like you did. But you'll see, I'm going to change so quick. You bet I'm going to change. And Emily, I want to ask you a favor.
What?
Emily, if I go away to State Agriculture College next year, will you write me a letter once in a while?
I certainly will, George. Seems like being away for 3 years, you'd get out of touch with those things. Maybe letters from Grover's Corners wouldn't be that interesting after a while. Grover's Corners isn't a very important place when you think about New Hampshire, but I think
The day wouldn't come when I wouldn't want to know what's happening there. I know that's true, Emily.
well, I'll try to make my letters interesting.
You know, Emily, whenever I meet a farmer, I ask him if he thinks it's important to go to agriculture school to be a good farmer.
Why, George?
Yeah, some of them even say it's a waste of time. You can get those things out of pamphlets anyway that the government sends out. Uncle Luke's getting old. He's about ready for me to start intaking on his farm tomorrow, if I could.
My.
And like you say, being gone all that time, going other places, meeting other people, gosh, if anything like that could happen, I don't want to go away. I guess new people aren't any better than the old ones. I bet they almost never are. Emily, I feel that you're as good a friend as I've got. I don't need to go in other towns to meet the people.
But George, maybe it's important for you to go and learn all about cattle judging and soil and those things. Of course, I don't know.
Emily, I'm going to make up my mind right now. I won't go. I'll tell Paul about it tonight.
Why, George, I don't see why you have to decide right now. It's a whole year away.
Emily, I'm glad you spoke to me about that fault in my character. What you said was right, but there was one thing wrong with it. And that was when you said for a year I wasn't noticing you. And you, for instance, why you say you were watching me when I did everything. Well, I was doing the same about you all the time. Sure, I thought about you as one of the key people I thought about. Always made sure where you were sitting. And always made sure you were with. And for 3 days now, I've been trying to walk home with you, but something's always gotten in the way. Yesterday, I was standing back against the wall waiting for you, and you walked home with Miss Corcoran.
George, life's awfully funny. How could I have known that? Well, I thought.
Listen, Emily, I'm going to tell you why I'm not going to agriculture school. I feel that once you found a person that you're very fond of, I mean it when a person is very fond of you too, and likes you enough to be interested in your character. Well, I think that's just as important as colleges. And even more so, that's what I think.
I think it's awfully important, too.
Emily?
Yes, George?
Emily, if I do improve, make a big change, could So, I guess this is an important talk we've been having.
Yes, yes.
Just a second, I want to go. Mr. Morgan, I'll have to go home and get the money to pay for this. It'll only take me a minute.
What's that, George? You mean to tell me?
Yes, but I have my reasons, Mr. Morgan. Look, here's my gold watch to keep until I return.
Keep your watch. I'll trust you.
I'll be back in 5 minutes.
I'll trust you 10 years, George. Not a day early.
Well, it looks like now we're ready to get on with the wedding. There are a lot of things to be said about a wedding, and there are a lot of thoughts that go on during a wedding. Naturally, we can't get them all into one wedding, naturally, and especially not weddings at Grover's Corners, where they're awfully plain and short. In this wedding, I play the minister. That gives me the right to say a few more things about it, if I have to. For a while now, the play gets pretty serious, you see. Some churches say that marriage is a sacrament. I don't rightly know what that means, but I can guess. It's like Miss Gibbs was saying a few minutes ago. People were made to live, to go through life, 2 by 2. This is a good wedding. But naturally, even at a good wedding, there's a lot of thoughts going through people's minds that might tend to scare them. The real hero of this wedding isn't even here. We all know who that is. It's like what one of those European fellas said. Every child born in this world is nature's attempt to create a perfect human being. Now we all know nature's been pushing and contriving for quite some time now. We all know that nature's interested in quantity, but I think she's interested in quality too. That's how come I'm in the ministry. We all have to consider who else we need to appreciate at this wedding. The ancestors, millions of them, all made and put through life 2 by 2 also. Millions of them. Well, looks like it's time to get on with the wedding.
I can eat another mouthful. And she laid her head on the table. She cried. Oh, I've got to say it. You know there's something downright cruel about sending our girls off to marriage this way. I sure hope some of her girlfriends told her a thing or two. It's cruel, I know, but I couldn't bring myself to say anything. I went into it blind as a bat myself. The whole world's wrong. That's what's the matter. The other phone.
George, look at him, fellas. He looks scared to death.
George, what do you look so innocent for, you old Peter? You know what you're thinking of. Don't stretch your king, big boy.
Quiet now. That'll be enough of that. There's an awful lot of that kind of stuff in the old days, and Rome and later. We're much more civilized now, or so they say.
George, what's the matter?
Ma, I don't want to go. Why is everybody pushing me so?
Why, George, you wanted it.
No, Ma, listen to me.
No, George, you're a man now.
Ma, for the last time I asked you, all I want to do is be a fellow.
George, if anyone should hear you, now stop. Why, I'm ashamed of you.
What? Where's Emily?
George, you gave me such a turn.
Cheer up, Ma. I'm getting married.
Let me catch my breath a minute.
Now, Ma, listen to me. You say Thursday nights, Emily and I come over every Thursday night for dinner. You'll see. Mom, what are you crying for? Come on, gotta get ready for this.
I've never felt so alone in my whole life. And George over there looking so. I hate him. I wish he were dead. Papa! Papa!
Oh, Emily, now don't get upset. People.
But Papa, I don't want to get married.
Emily, now everything will be all right.
Why can't I stay for a while just as I am? Let's go away.
No, Emily, now stop and think.
But Papa, remember, all the time you say, all the time, that I was your girl. There must be many places we can go. I could work for you. I could keep house.
Shh, Emily, you mustn't think of such things. You're just nervous. George, could you come here a minute? Well, you're marrying a fine fellow. You're marrying the best fellow in the world.
But Papa,
George, I'm giving away my daughter. Do you think you can take care of her?
Mr. Webb, I want to. I want to try. Emily, I'm gonna do my best. I love you, Emily. I need you.
well, if you love me, help me. All I want is someone to love me.
I will, Emily. Emily, I'll try.
I mean forever, do you hear? Forever and ever.
Come, they're waiting for us. Everything will be all right. Come quick.
Do you, George, take Emily to be your locked to have Joel?
Perfectly lovely wedding. I just love a good wedding, don't you? Loveliest wedding I ever saw.
George,
I do.
you, Emily, take George to be your lawfully wedded husband to have
Such a lovely wedding. I just love a good wedding, but I always cry. I don't know what it is. I always cry.
I've married over 200 couples in my days. Do I believe in it? I don't know. George marries Emily, millions of them. The cottage, the go-kart, the Sunday afternoon drives in the Ford, the first rheumatism, the grandchildren, the second rheumatism, the deathbed, and finally the reading of the will. Once in 1,000 times it's interesting.
Aren't they just a lovely couple? I've never been to such a nice wedding. I'm sure they'll be happy. I say that happiness, that's the great thing. The important thing is to be happy.
Well, let's have Mendelssohn's Wedding March. It's nighttime now in Gerber's Corners. There's a few lights on. Shorty Hawkins down at the depot has just watched the Albany train go by. And at the delivery stable, someone's sitting up late and talking. Yeah, it's clearing up all right. And there are the stars, doing their old crisscross journey in the sky. And then there's this star, heading out for nowhere. Scholars haven't seemed to figure out the matter yet, but they seem to think that there are no living beings up there, only dust or chalk. 11 o'clock at Grover's Corners. Y'all get a good rest too. Good night.
Y'all have anything to say? Y'all did a good job. Really.
You're all snow.
No, we're done.
What?
That's enough. Perfectly loved job. What's your name?
And make it a living thing. May it be a beacon and inspiration to guide in the footsteps of other seekers of truth. As the keystone is placed by the builder to hold a perfect arch and perpetual stability, so the structure of our education must be held firm and true to the purpose of life by the virtue represented in this symbol.
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're here tonight to induct the Sturgeon Bulldog chapter of the National Honor Society, 9 members of the senior, junior, and sophomore classes who have excelled in the attainment of high.
The chief advantages of having a chapter of the NHS as an honorary group are it creates an enthusiasm for scholarship throughout the school. It encourages a desire on the part of the student to evaluate himself to see if there are potential elements of leadership in him or her. It encourages students to continue their learning and their education. Its national scope gives it high significance and unusual prestige.
Tracy, please enumerate the requirements for membership in the society.
Membership in this chapter shall be based on scholarship, service, leadership, and character. Candidates shall have spent at least one semester in Sturgeon High School and shall be a member of the junior or senior class to be active members. Sophomores shall be elected as probationary members. Candidates eligible to election shall have an average of B. Their eligibility shall then be considered on the basis of service, leadership, and character. Selection shall then be made by the faculty council of 5 members.
Michael, please tell us the aim of this society.
Society, as defined in the Constitution, is to create an enthusiasm for scholarship, to stimulate desire to render service, to promote leaders, and to develop character in the students of our high school. No honor conferred by the school exceeds the one represented by this society. Other honors of the school recognize specialized ability, skill, or talent. This society looks upon education as a total product measured by the four dimensions of life.
Brad, explain the NHS emblem to us.
The emblem is the keystone of flaming torch with various letters CS, LS, which stand for the four principles of character, scholarship, leadership, and service. The colors are blue and gold, the flowers and yellow rose.
Will the four people who represent the four character principles please step forward?
Scholarship means a commitment to learning. The student is willing to spend hours in the week in study, knowing the lasting benefits of cultivating knowledge. We should continue to learn even when formal education is needed, for education ends only after life. Knowledge is one great element in life which leads to the highest success. It can be acquired only one way, through diligence and effort. Learning produces the plan by which we lead the past, and the light which illuminates the future. Candidates have in charge continuing to lead the way through the opportunities inherent in scholarship.
Wow, this is service. Service can be described in various ways. The reaching of the day's work, many opportunities rise to help others. Willingness to work for the benefit of those in need, without monetary compensation or without recognition, is a quality we seek in our education. We are committed to the idea of volunteering our time and abilities to the creation of a better tomorrow. Leadership should exert a wholesome influence on the school. In taking the initiative in class and school activities, the real leader strives to train and aid others to attain the same objective. The price of leadership is sacrifice, the willingness to yield one's personal interests for the interest of others. A leader has self-confidence and will go forward when others hesitate. No matter what power and resources may exist in a country, they are ineffectual without the guidance of a wise leader. Leadership is always needed. Thus, to lead is a substantive charge to each of our members and in communities. Character is the force within each individual, which distinguishes that person from others. It gives each one a individuality. It is that without which no one can respect oneself, nor hope to attain the respect of others. It is the force of character which guides one through life, and when once developed, grows settled. Character is achieved and not received. It is the product of constant action, daily striving to make the right choice. The problem of character is the problem of self-control. It must be in reality that we wish to appear to others by demonstration such qualities as reliability, honesty, and sincerity. It may hope to prove by example that we value character.
Will the candidates rise and repeat the pledge? I pledge myself to uphold the high purpose of the National Honor Society, to which I have been selected, striving in every way, by word and deed, to make its ideals the ideals of my school and of my life. Now will each of you, as I call your Robert. Danny. Corey. Debbie. Brad. Tracy. Kentucky. Even members can be members. He is the labor, and so is leading. That National Honor Society is founded upon the principles of scholarship, leadership, service, and character. In all your undertakings, may you always keep in mind these principles. Candle is but a simple thing. It starts with just a bit of string, yet dipped and dipped, and gathers wax upon the string, until complete and snowy white, it gives at last a lovely light. Life seems so light, and a bit of strength. Easily deep, we do a simple thing. Yet day by day, upon life's strand, we work with patient hard hand to gather joy, makes dark days bright, and gives it last love of life.
Will each retired officer step forward as your name is called? President Michelle Chase.
Vice President Michael Brooks.
Secretary Kathy Engel. Treasurer Jeannie Gill. Character Tina Sage. Service Christy Clemens. Leadership Kim Burns. Scholarship Valley Down. Outgoing officers, you have worked with patient care and made dark ways bright. We thank you for all your efforts. They have added to the history of this organization. The 1989 Knights of Sturgeon Bulldog Chapter of National Honor Society officers, please come up as your name is called. Tina Sage. Treasurer, Chrissy Clemens. Scholarship, Robin Bell. Leadership, Debbie Rush. Service, Corey Stewart. Character, Tracy Cranklin. Torchbearer, Robert Brunson. Flag-bearer, Danny Thorne. New officers. In accepting these offices, you have indicated your willingness to give the best time and efforts to carry out the principles of the National Honor Society. Yours is a great responsibility, as well as a privilege. The world today, as never before, needs faithful and efficient leaders, and your school is looking to you to be its students. With this in view, do you pledge your best efforts to these offices you now accept? Hold high the torch, but did not light its low, which was given you from other hands you know. 'Tis only yours to keep it burning bright, for there are other feet that you must guide, and other flames go marching by your side. Someday in turn you'll live to high and say, I watched them pour it this way. May you blaze forth for a successful year, and at the expiration of your term of office, may it be passed on with satisfaction that much was accomplished for the welfare of our school and our organization. And now I would like to recognize all the senior members with a certificate and yellow rose. Kathy Engel. Michael Brooks. Brad Blakemore. Michelle Chase. Debbie Kalinowski. And Jean Film. Thanks for attending the NHS induction ceremony and student selection of new members. Would you please join us in the cafeteria for refreshments or remain seated until all members march out?
Everybody move on the back row. Move over. Move over.
Because the shortest guy back.
Can we see them all now?
All right.
Robert, no. Corey and Robert, you're going to have to come between two people.
Stand up on your tiptoes.
Robert's